time is it? What time is it? What time is it? It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You got nothing to do. It's your high today. Welcome to the jungle. Yes, sir. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Not only is it Friday, it's Friday. That's a holiday, y'all. And so we're going to make it happen, Captain. We're going to make you smile. We're going to make you laugh. We may even make you cry because we're going to tell the truth. You know, because it's real time, baby. It's real time. Real time. Real talk. Real fathers. Real men. We're going to make it happen, Captain. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad within it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He is my strength and my redeemer. Amen. Hey, let's go on and get into it. Hey, since it's Friday, you know, we had to go on and step out there on the limb and say some things that try and get you thinking, trying to get you to come back next week. But bottom line up front, like I said at the beginning, I had to keep telling myself this at least 3 times a week. I really don't care if nobody watches this. It's therapeutic for me, believe it or not, you know. But if somebody watches this and somebody gets something out of it, hey, that's a double portion. The first thing I want to address is professionalism, okay? No matter how old you get, whether you're in your midlife crisis, whether you're a teenager, whether you're a 90-year-old person, professionalism is very important when you're in a business. You know, and I do a lot of things, I laugh and play, but if I call your business, right, and when I call your business, you answer the phone, say, Joe's. I'm gonna say, what's up, Joe? I'm not Joe. Well, that's what you said. And maybe it's because of my military background. It's just that if you answer the phone and say, the greeting of the day, good morning, this is Joe's, this is Melvin, I'm at, hello, Joe's. Good morning, this is Joe's. This is Melvin, how may I help you? Instantly, if I'm trying to buy something from you, I'm already saying, like, hey, this joker really, sincerely want to help me today, you know? So, let's see, you know? Maybe I need to give him some of my money, okay? Enough of that. Remember, answer the phone professional, please. Next, back to our topic for the week. I'll tell you a little secret. Your burden is always somebody's blessing. Not sometimes, not half the time, not depends on what it is. 917 gazillion million. I just made that word up. Your burden is somebody's blessing. You know? And then if you switch that around, your blessing is somebody's burden. You know? Every day I meet people, I meet strangers. And I always try and meet a stranger with a smile. I always try and greet everybody with a smile. That's just me. You know, some people call me a flirt. You can call me whatever you want to. That's just me. That's who God made me to be. And once I accepted, that's who I am. Life became easy. Boop! Hit the easy button, baby. But as I travel around this great, beautiful country, I see those pictures I put on there yesterday at Cincinnati. Dude, coming into Cincinnati out of Kentucky, God is great, man. I mean, now I'm in Kentucky, and Kentucky is beautiful, and then it just bleeds over into Cincinnati when you're coming out of Kentucky. That's scenery right there on 75, 71. If you ever get a chance, know, when it's at nighttime, it's beautiful too, because you can see the skyline lit up. But if you ever get a chance, like when traffic's not that bad, just pull over and stop and take a roll of pictures. Okay? I'm dating myself. But as I travel around, I meet people and they see me, and some people look at me and they think I'm delusional, crazy, off my meds or whatever. And then some people look and say, God, this joke is so happy. Why? You know, the reason why is because I gotta that's why it was very important to do this. A lot of people thought I was gonna do this to male bash people or talk down to people. I just want to get across to people that midlife crisis, take med out, take crisis life out, and what do it leave? Life. You know? And then when you write it down, it has that dash in it. And a joker, when I was in Kuwait the last time, we used to celebrate Dash Day. And Dash Day was just, you have a date that you was born and a date that you died. But the thing that matters is that dash, what you do in between. And so, midlife crisis, you take away mid, and now you got dash and life. And so, it's all about the dash and the life. What you doing with your life? What you doing to make life better? You know, what you doing to make life worse? Or can you see the forest? Or is the trees blocking your view? You know? And so are you looking and saying, well, how can this be a blessing to somebody else? These trees in my way. And then somebody else step back and look and say, man, that's a beautiful forest. You know? It's a beautiful forest. You know, and you look and you have people that can't walk, you have people that can't talk, you have people, you know, that's blind, you have people that's rich, you have people that's poor. You know, this world is made up of all type of people. And so often somebody will come up and say, well, at least you got your help. Dude, I know I got my help, but I'm on a Mercedes. Well, at least you can see. At least you ain't like that guy that's blind. Well, you know what? God didn't intend for me to be like that guy that's blind because he knew I wouldn't be able to handle it. You know? So, what I'm saying is, even though it's people out there, people always want to use this example. Oh, there's somebody out there way worse than you. Okay, and there's a lot more people out there way better than me too. But that's not the issue. It's what's going on with me. It's my perception of the way I look at life. So it doesn't matter what somebody else is going through out there. What matters is what I'm going through in here. And since it matters what I'm going through in here, then somehow or another I need some way to change my perception. You know, and sometimes I have to just say to myself, wow, somebody would love to drive this truck. Wow, somebody would love to have these great guns. This beautiful smile. You know, but for real, you know, I'm not the best looking guy in the world. And you can call me conceited or whatever. I really don't care, but I'm what God made me. And so, on that token, once you accept what you are, that's the first step into realizing what you have. That's the first step to realizing that, man, you know what? I ain't even got to hate on dude. And you know what? If I sat up here and said that I didn't get envy, that I didn't have the envy spirit in me, and that I didn't hate on people, I'd be lying to y'all. That's human nature, dude. You know, sometimes I look at jokers and I'm like, man, that joker think you better than everybody else. And then I think about like, he better than you because he don't even know you hating on him. Like, man, shut up. I be talking my alter ego. Man, shut up. But that's reality. Reality is we all have that spirit where we see something that somebody has, you know, and then we want it. Okay, enough of the tantrum, man, because I'm all over the place today. I hope I didn't lose nobody. Let's get back to the topic at hand. I just had some things, man, that was on my chest on a Friday, and I just wanted to jettison a few, bro. I wanted to jettison a few. Still down midlife crisis, talking about how, you know, the thing that caused us to have midlife crisis is the things that I'm sitting up here fussing about this morning. The thing that makes us have a midlife crisis is people. You know, it's people. You know. So now let's talk about midlife crisis. We really do need to pretty much address yesterday, you know, the last couple of episodes really pretty much address what people perceive midlife crisis is. But the thing that we need to address today, and that's why I picked Friday to do this, the thing that we need to address today is how it affects people around you. Because people around you, that's the people you love, truly love. Remember I talked about circles, life is circles, and these circles get bigger and bigger. But people in that first circle, you know, people in that first circle, that's what matters. And even though all week I've been talking about, hey man, do you get this done, get that done? Now we're gonna wrap it all up and say, man, you're talking out of the side of your neck, and y'all know I'm on medication. The thing about it, anything you decide to do as you're going through this transformation to that middle point in your life, first thing you got to do is say, is it something I'm gonna feel comfortable with? You address that with yourself. Next thing you do is it something that's going to embarrass the people I truly love? Me? Dude, if it ain't going to kill them, it ain't going to hurt. But some people, what people think, it really matters. But I'm putting that out there. Let me step with the steps. You have to ask yourself, is this something that's going to embarrass the people around you? And then the next question is, if it is it an embarrassment so bad that they got to leave town? If not, keep it moving, cuz. The next question, is it going to hurt the people around you? When I say hurt, I mean, if you out here and you have a sick mother and you her only financial support, cutting people. Don't go out here and buy a $10,000 motorcycle. Don't go out here and buy a $70,000 sports car, knowing that you got responsibilities. That's not a midlife crisis. That's real life stupidity. Okay. So you like, hey man, I was looking at Too Easy show, and Too Easy said, hey man, forget this, babe. I'm quitting my job tomorrow, and I'm going to travel with the circus. Come on, cuz. Come on, cuz. Let's be real. That's not what I mean. If you took care of business when you was in your 20s and 30s, and now that you're in your 40s and 50s, and you can do that, then do that. But if you have a family that's dependent on you, depending on your paycheck every month, depending on your support and everything like that, cause sometimes you got to suck it up, man. Turn off the J-brake before you change gears, nigga. I knew that. I was just testing you. I'm pulling them hills, baby. right. Usually I go 71 instead of coming 75. It's about 10 miles difference, but you save fuel because 71 has less hills. You only got really one big pull, and that's coming across Mount Eagle, across 24, but it's fine. But anyhow, so that's what you got to, and that's what I want to address today. Dude, I know I said people fall out of love, relationships end. Let me tell you a little secret. A relationship, if a relationship ends, it ends. But commitments never end. If you committed to something, that don't end. So people like, you're like, hold up, dude, you confusing me, big dog. No, I'm not. Think about it. You can be in a relationship. If I was to leave my wife today or tomorrow, and she already know this, if I was to leave her today or tomorrow, the lifestyle she has grown accustomed to these 31 years, she would still live that same lifestyle. She would still live that same lifestyle because that's part of my commitment. You know, if our relationship ends, it's one thing. That's one thing. But if that means that we no longer are lovers, we no longer are partners in that sense, but I feel like you still required if you marry a person and you took care of them for a certain amount of years and you was a life support, male or female, you got, hey, just because y'all cut it right there, y'all can say what you want to, but you committed to doing that. Especially if you have a relationship like mine, 31 years. You think I divorced my wife and we got to go to court and let the court decide that I'm supposed to give her this amount of money? Nah, I already know how much money I got to give her. Same amount of money that she done came accustomed to. I'm the one who decided that I want to take off and leave and go another direction. So me doing that means I got to accept the fact as I'm going this other direction, I need to make more money if I want to continue to live the lifestyle I'm living. But a lot of time we don't want to do, oh, this is my money, I work for this money, but got it. I know you work for the money. But bottom line up front, at the end of the day, if you decide to leave, and granted, you're going through a midlife crisis, you know, or even if, like we said, it's really not a midlife crisis, you found something better. Just like now, if I go out here, I was talking to LZ, I was talking to my boy LZ this morning, he's over in Hawaii, hating life, see what I mean? Your burden, somebody's blessing. Everybody else would love to go to Hawaii, LZ, and you complain about it. But anyhow, he's still my boy, man. That's my twin. October 1st, baby. But I was talking to LZ, and I was telling LZ he's going to get a Corvette. And I said, man, I love that Corvette, but I really want that affordable Porsche. And he was like, yeah, he said, that is nice. And so, if I want that affordable Porsche, you know, I mean, like now I drive a Camaro. If I get a affordable Porsche, that means I got to accept the responsibility that comes with getting a Porsche. You know, the maintenance on that thing is not like a Chevrolet. I take my Camaro to Rick Hendricks right now, and I just put the keys in a little box, and they call me when it's ready. You know, you can do that with a Porsche. You take it to wherever. I don't even know where the Porsche dealership at in Atlanta. I don't even know the name of it. But you take it to them jokers, you better go to the credit union and get you a loan. You know, get you, as we used to say in the Army, go get you an AER loan because just to service that thing on the cost. So it's the same thing if you're in a relationship and you decide to leave that relationship. And I'm talking to people that's been in long-term relationships. You know, I'm using a relationship and using that relationship for 2 to 3 years. This is what I figure, man. if you working in corporate America, right, and they downsize and say, hey, it's been real, it's been fun, but you gotta run. Them jokers gonna give me what you call a severance pay. And most good companies, they try and equal your severance pay to, a year's salary. Good ones, they'll give you a year's salary. And that gives you a chance to get it done. And I feel like if you're in a relationship and say you was in a two-year relationship, and you're in this male or female, because nowadays there's women out there getting paid. Let's be real. So you out there, you getting paid, you doing what you gotta do, and it's like, hey, baby, this has been real, this has been fun. I ain't talking about if you go out here and somebody, they break up with you, they on their own.